Welcome to Saturday Morning Coffee Talk. It is October 2nd. By the way, October is my birthday month, so it's the best month of the year. And it's also Halloween. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up. We're about to just blow it up with holidays, right? October, November, December, there's always something going on, and there's always some kind of a holiday festivity and food wrapped around those festivities, right? And we're not going to be able to get the food out of the festivities. Like it's ingrained in what it is. So we're going to work on our mindset on how we handle all of that going on around us. I personally haven't been doing coffee talk for the last month and a half, and that actually Marla, who's on here, just had this conversation with us. But let me explain that this kind of reinforces what I just said. When I'm not talking to other people about it and being the coach and mentor to other people, I tend to slack off. So all of September, I was horrible. Not in a beating myself up kind of way. But honestly, I just did not stick to a nutrition plan, and my weight just started going up instantly because that's genetically, that's how I'm made. If I don't know what it is, honestly, but I come from a large family who just easily gains weight quickly. We have a lot of obesity in our family. My mom, growing up, my mom was always 300 pounds. And she didn't even eat super unhealthy. It's just, we just have a really, really easy time gaining weight. So anyway, over that time frame, I gained 7 pounds. And so I was like, oh my gosh. Now, me personally, one of the things I do to keep myself on track to not just blow it up and gain 150 pounds is I weigh myself every morning. So even when I'm not eating well, eating ice cream or whatever, I'm not going to say all the things because I'm going to actually talk to you about why I won't say all those things in a minute. But if I weigh myself every day, I don't beat myself up over the weight. I know what's going on, right? But it keeps me in check. And so what happens is I start seeing the weight creep up and I'm like, oh, okay, now I have to go back down. But if I ignore it, then I can easily gain 20 pounds without even knowing I gained 20 pounds. Sure, my pants might get tight or whatever, but I'm not seeing the number. And for me, I need to see that number to keep me in check. And I have this cutoff weight. It's not where I want to be all the time, but it's where I have a red flag, oh, you need to stop doing what you're doing and get back on track. So that's one of the things I do to make sure I'm staying where I need to be. Okay, so that being said, we're going to talk a little bit about, first, we're going to talk about the 5 hungers. And I'm bringing this up especially because of the holidays. But I feel like when you know what's making you hungry, you can be more aware, and if you can identify it, it's easier to break the habits of just eating the food, right? Or eating all the food, and having mindless eating. So a lot of I was Google searching all kinds of pictures for this, and in Pinterest, and I was Google searching things. And funny thing is, there's a lot of images that say, eat more mindfully, just all these little catchphrases, but they don't explain how. And so I would beat myself up over, okay, I need to be eating more mindfully, but how? What are the steps? I always want concrete ways to do things. But I found that knowing these things and being reminded of them continually, that gave me the awareness that I needed. So there are 5 ways, I guess 5 ways that you might be hungry, okay? And I'm going to talk about them. I want you to take note of these things, because the better you know them, the more you'll be able to identify them, right, when it's happening. So the very first one I want to bring up is sensory hunger, okay? So sensory hunger means when you see something or smell something, or even if you take a small nibble of how something tastes, automatically you want it. So if you work in an office setting and somebody brings in donuts or pizza, or you're walking down the street at maybe you're going shopping at the mall and you see those little Cinnabons, or you smell the Cinnabons from far away, or you see the little pretzels, just seeing it or smelling it, that can give you this like super sense of hunger, right? Even if you just ate. And now here's the thing about sensory hunger. I'm bringing this one up first because honestly, it's one of the easiest to like let go, even though in the moment it might not feel the easiest. I say it's easiest to let go because it like brings in this craving, but cravings go away in a very short period of time. So if you pass Cinnabon and you smell it and you walk past it, if you decide just to keep walking, set your timer for like 10 minutes and go as far away as you can as that place, you probably won't go back because it will have come and gone. Although setting a timer might be a bad idea because it's just going to remind you of it being there. But what I'm saying is like, say, okay, if I still want it in like 10, 15 minutes, then maybe I'll go back and get it. And if you do that, 10, 15 minutes go by and you probably totally forgot about it because it was just a craving. Same thing with when you're at home and you're thinking, I want to go get ice cream, or you're at home and you want to get, something sweet like chocolate. Literally 10, 15 minutes, it'll probably go away. So that's sensory hunger, okay? A next one could be mental hunger. So this might be like out of habit of times that you normally would eat something, or like bringing back, actually holidays might do this to you, but bringing back things like, oh, the holidays are coming, pumpkin, or chestnut, whatever, you know what I mean? That's mental hunger. Like it something triggered the craving of that meal. Another thing could be like if you're used to something. So I normally eat at 8 and 10 and 2 and 5, right? Well, if I screw up the times a little bit and I ate, well, one of those times was 2. If I actually ate at 1 and I'm already full, or even noon and I'm already full, but 2 o'clock comes around, you're like, I'm ready to eat again. That's like more of a timing thing. Like you're just used to eating at that time. So you see the clock or you glance over at something that makes you think of it. That's also like a timing thing. It's mental hunger. It's not true hunger. So mental hunger and sensory hunger, they're not real hunger. They're just kind of like triggers. And like I said, if you just give yourself a little bit and you move past it, it's usually a short time frame to move past it, and because it's normally just a craving and then you can move past it. Okay, so that's sensory and mental. So another big one, and I need you to pay attention to this one, is sleep deprivation hunger. So when you lose sleep, your body is gonna start making you want to eat, because like, okay, how do I say you normally go to bed at like 10 o'clock, but you stayed up till midnight. You might start getting hungry at midnight, which is weird, right? But it's just your body trying to get more fuel to keep yourself up more because you're staying up longer. So the longer or the more sleep that you lose, the more you're going to eat, right? And it's just your body doing this to you and craving these foods, and usually it ends up being bad foods, when we don't get a good quality amount of sleep. So not sleeping 8, 7 hours, like even if you're only sleeping 6 hours, because a lot of people sleep only 6 hours, 5, 6 hours, you're going to end up eating more because of it. So getting good quality sleep is so important. But I'm not going to go into the whole sleep thing today because that's not the topic. But do everything you can to get a full 7, 8, sometimes 9 hours of sleep. Do what you can, because your hormones are going to help you not be hungry, and just your hormones will regulate more so that you'll lose weight faster. So getting the right amount of sleep is super important. Okay, physical hunger, real hunger, is a little different. Usually there's different signs than what we're used to. I'm going to read this real quick. It says real hunger. It's when your stomach is growling, you want to grab something, and you just start feeling weak, and maybe your jaw starts to feel weird. Here's the deal. You're not starving. So when you get when you're ready to eat, you're really hungry, we gotta stop the panic mode, right? Panic, because it's just a mental thing when you're like, oh my God, I'm hungry. I'm gonna grab something, anything. Give me something. I'm just hungry. I'm hangry, right? Um, we gotta stop the panic mode. And one of the best ways to do that is grabbing a bottle of water and just drinking the water while you're thinking about how you're gonna get your next meal. It gives you a couple of minutes of calmness, and it's putting something in your stomach. So it's kind of prolonging the period of you just, or calming down the period in which you feel like, oh, I want all the food. So grab that bottle of water when you actually feel physically hungry. And don't use the word starving, because you're not starving. There really are people out there starving. Okay. So that's a very negative mindset, and it makes you also want to eat more than you should, or need to eat more than you need to, right? So don't use the word starving. Just use the word hungry and be like, okay, and start thinking about your next meal. But grab that water. That's so, so important. You are in control. You might feel a little out of control at the moment, but you are in control. So you can even say that to yourself. I'm in control. I'm going to drink this water, and I'm going to figure out and strategize my best meal that I can eat right now. And that's when things come in, like if you're out and you're just feel stuck, that's when you can start thinking, really thinking, oh, well, instead of grabbing so and so at the fast food place, maybe I'll run over to the grocery store, or maybe I'll go to the corner store and grab like hard-boiled eggs, and like just start thinking about fueling your body, not about shoving all this food in you to make you feel better, right? Okay, so I left the last one because it's one of my hardest ones to deal with, and it's emotional hunger. So when you're stressed, lonely, bored, we use food as a coping mechanism many, many, many times. Um, this is when people turn to alcohol too. Alcohol to ease stress, comfort food when you're feeling lonely. It's really common. Even um, people even eat when they're feeling bad about them not sticking to a plan. So here's where I want you to start thinking different ways. One thing was said to me just recently that I was like, oh my God, you're right. Because I have a hard time with emotional hunger. And they said eating emotionally actually makes you more stressed. So like when you're stressed and you want to grab food, it actually makes you more stressed when you grab that food. If it's not the proper thing that you should be eating, or the thing that you want to be eating at the time. So when you're like, for me, I might just grab food, literally just grab whatever's in front of me. So even if it's healthy, just grab it. But it's emotionally eating, right? It's not, oh, I'm ready for my next meal and this is what I want to eat. I'm going to eat this. It's not. It's just I'm just going to grab whatever is in front of me. And doing that actually makes you more stressed, because it causes more of a spiral. You then get mad at yourself for eating it, and then it makes you even more stressed because you're not in control. So knowing that makes me think differently. Like, oh, that's actually going to make me more stressed, so I'm not going to eat that. It literally has changed the way I grab food. And I have to constantly be reminded of it, because, bad habits die slowly, very, very slowly. So knowing this about emotional eating has helped me tremendously. So I wrote down, where was it? Yeah, eating when frustrated is going to bring on more stress and more frustration. Another thing to keep in mind is open-ended foods. Like keeping those in the house is not good, because when you are having a stressful day, those are the things we tend to gravitate towards right away. So getting rid of that open-ended food. I'm going to give you 3 things now of what you can do to help yourself over the holidays. Open-ended food for me personally would be like if somebody brought me over a pumpkin pie and it wasn't enough, like it was too much, my whole family wouldn't eat it in one sitting, then I would have excess. And it's not portioned, it's not prepackaged, and it's open. It's just there. I would eat the whole thing. Or I would eat little slivers throughout the day when I want to, right? Oh, I'll have a little piece, like a little sliver. It's just a little sliver, But guys, 10 little slivers still equals 2 or 3 pieces of pie. So that's an open-ended food. A lot of people I find having open-ended foods, chocolate chips in your house, like if you use them to bake and you still have half a bag left, that could be an open-ended food for you. Chips, open-ended food for me. Anything that you could easily overdo it is an open-ended food. And I love this saying, better in the trash than in my stomach. Better in the trash than in my body. If you really need to donate it, then donate it. But literally think to yourself, is this even fuel for someone else? Right? I got trashed one day because I said something about throwing food in the trash. And they're like, there's hungry people out there. I go, well, those hungry people don't need a brownie. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me give them some healthy food too. So, like, you do what's best for you, but I like the saying, better in the trash than in my body, right? It helps me. It helps me stay on track and from eating that thing that I know is not going to fuel my body nicely. Like, it's not going to give me fuel. It's literally going to do the opposite. It's going to make me crash. So keep that in mind. When we think about how the food affects us, we think about the food differently. Even if it's really yummy and tasty and delicious, like if it's going to make me feel like crap, then I need to remember it's going to make me feel like crap, right? So getting rid of open-ended food is number 1. 2, out of sight, out of mind, which is part of getting rid of open food. If I do have to keep food in my house and for something else, maybe a party or whatever that I just can't have around me, I'll put it in the garage fridge or I'll put it somewhere else. Dude, if it's really, really bad and you need to have it, maybe you can ask your neighbor to keep it in their fridge. But literally out of sight, out of mind is really good for me. If it's not in front of me, I'm not thinking about it. You can also say out of sight, out of mind, out of sight, out of stomach, right? It's similar. Like if it's not near you, you won't eat it. You won't think about it. It's really important not because if it's near you, it brings up that sensory hunger. So you want to get rid of it. So that's number 2, out of sight, out of mind. Get rid of open-ended foods. 3, the push-off method. And I have one more after this. The push-off method works so well for me when I'm on vacation, but it also works really well for me during holidays. So for example, I am a huge pumpkin cream cold brew fan at Starbucks, right? And part of my like, oh, I fell off the wagon in September was I literally went to Starbucks every single day throughout the month, plus a week in October. Okay. And I had this exactly what they wanted me to have. Starbucks wants you to know, oh my gosh, there's only a short season and you need to get it now. But the reality is it's a very long season, right? And I don't need it right now. And if I really truly want it, maybe I'll have it Saturday, or I can just push it off. And at first I had to do like every day. Like, I don't need it today. If I really, really want it, I'll have it tomorrow. And then the next day I'll say, I don't really need it today. If I really, really want it, I'll have it tomorrow. Not like saying, oh, I can't have it, because that makes me want it even more. I would push it off. When I'm on vacation, I do the same thing. I might be really looking forward to Coors ice cream because I'm at the beach and it's like a trigger for me. Oh, beach, Coors ice cream. But if I push it off and say, I will have Coors ice cream, that's what I'm looking forward to, but I'm only going to have it on the last day I'm there, right? That keeps me from eating every single day I'm there. So same with the holidays. Think about the things that you're really, really, really excited for, and then find a way to push it off towards the end. So for example, Halloween is the end of October. So if there's a piece of candy that you're really, really excited for, push it off to actual Halloween day. Same with Thanksgiving. If there's something that you're really, really, maybe you're a stuffing fan, or maybe it's the dessert. If you really, really are excited for it, push it off to only the Thanksgiving day. And then out of sight, out of mind, get rid of it out of your house, right? Same with Christmas. If you're really, really excited about whatever the Christmas, like peppermint mocha, whatever, right? And you really, really want it, push it off to Christmas. Don't say you can't have it. Just say when you can have it. And then that pushes it off and you are looking forward to it. So you can do this with anything. I would love to hear your comments about like what you could do this with, but the push off method works really, really well for me. And then very last thing, and this kind of goes with the push off method, is Dinteo, Dinteo, Dinteo. Do I need this eating opportunity? This is huge, especially when you're going to obligations, right? So today I'm obligatorily going to a surprise birthday party, right? I'm assuming there's cake, gonna be birthday cake. But here's the thing, birthday cake is really not my thing. It's not something that I'm really, really, really excited to have. I know it's something that I eat when it's in front of me. So before I go, I can prepare for it by knowing this ahead of time, knowing that it'll probably bring up some sensory hunger while it's there, but also thinking, Dinteo, do I need this eating opportunity? Is this something I'm really, really excited for? If it is, maybe I might have a small piece, but if it's not, I'm going to do everything I can to just stay away from that cake. And that's what brings up this little tracker that I'm going to give to you guys. It's called the Holiday Eating Opportunity Tracker. Okay. I'm going to post this under wherever I post these videos. So like if it's in Destiny United, it's in there. If my Better Together, it'll be under there. Okay, so it's a PDF and it says, we know Halloween and holiday season comes with cold weather and many gatherings spent inside surrounded by food. But with the right mindset and a plan, you can fully enjoy the seasonal flavors and during this special time of year and still stay on track. Use the space below to jot down your food-filled event. If you need the eating opportunity before you go, then track how you did, right? So it has a section for a date, and this is the example. It has an eating/event opportunity. This says, son's school Halloween party, lots of candy and silly carbs will be there. Dinteo, do I need this eating opportunity? She wrote, no. If I have one piece, I may want more, and it's not worth it. This is not her thing. Candy, kids candy is not the thing that she's excited about. So then it says, stayed on track, yes or no. And then it says, why or why not, and was it worth it? And then she wrote, I committed to my goals. I had a weight loss day, so worth it. Now here's the deal. What if she said, no, I don't want it, but still had it? Under why or why not, and was it worth it? This is where she has the opportunity to not beat herself up, but to collect the data. I did have it, and then I went overboard, and no, it really wasn't worth it. It did not fulfill my love tank. Well, that's really good for her to write because she can go back, she can see that and learn from it for the next event, right? So you're going to fill out this information. You're going to write down all the events you know that are coming up, and you can keep this handy all fall long. Ooh, look at that, it disappeared. You can keep this handy all fall long and winter long. You can print a new one out if you need, and you can keep track of how you did. And this is going to help you big time because you're going to become aware of where you normally struggle and how you can stick to it. So I hope that really helps. I'm going to post that in under here. And I'm going to have to let you guys go because my laptop is going to die soon and we're running out of time. So let me know if you have any questions. I have probably like 2 minutes, and if the phone dies or whatever, sorry. But you can unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions. But I hope this really helps you out. Also, let me know if this does help you out. Any suggestions, comments, questions, anything? Bueller? No, we're good? Love it. Okay. I love you guys. I will talk to you later. I will be on here again next week and I'll have a new topic and that's 2BA. Okay. Or TBA. Why do I always do that? Love you guys. Bye.